And welcome back to Good Day Marketplace. In Marketplace Wealth, buy and hold. It's an investment strategy most of us know about, but is it outdated or is it still relevant in today's market? Here to give us their take are Greg and Kristen Taylor of Legacy Retirement Group. You see them here every week, and they're also hosts of a very popular weekly retirement radio show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we were talking cash and credit before we get to buy and hold. What do you guys think? Cash, credit, where are you at there?
I love credit cards. I use them for everything because I get the rewards, so I get free money.
Right.
Nice.
I was telling you, I get about $6,000 a year in rewards.
That
so
is incredible.
It pays off if you can pay it off each month.
Okay,
Right.
so that's
With
the
that
key.
disclaimer, because otherwise you're really not saving. You're paying that 20% interest rate, or if you're lucky, you can get a 10% interest rate credit card, right?
And that's what the credit card company is hoping.
Yeah,
that you don't pay it off.
make sure you're getting rewards. We just sat down with a couple of clients this week, and they said, we pay ours off every month, but they don't give us anything. I said, change cards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You guys always have the inside scoop on what's the best financially. So let's talk buy and hold. What's your take on the buy and hold investment strategy?
Well, the buy and hold is in line with what's called the modern portfolio theory.
Okay.
And that is over the long term or long haul that the markets will be efficient, that they will outperform other things. And I won't deny that. And if you're 20 or 30 years old, buying in maybe into a Vanguard 500 index fund or something like that, where you're putting your money in, you're buying in at different levels, you're dollar cost averaging into the market, and you just hold on to that for 20 or 30 years, that's not necessarily a bad strategy because you have time on your side and you can ride out those market ups and downs with that. But consequently, if you are within 5 years of retirement, and we've seen this how many times?
Yeah, that's where it becomes devastating, really.
Right, so I've seen families all ready to retire, have all the money saved that they need, and then a 2008 comes and there's a big market correction. And even though advisors will say, hang in there, the markets always come back. That may be true, but the problem is that they have to make sure that they have enough time before they have to start withdrawing money. So how close you are to retirement really buy and hold can be devastating. You could take $600,000 and turn it into $300,000 pretty quick.
And that is kind of the thought is, okay, if you lose money in the market, that's okay, because just wait a little bit and you'll gain all the money back. But you're saying that's not always the case.
Right. So about a year ago, we met with a 80-year-old that came into our office off the show. And he said, people always ask me how I became a millionaire. And he says it was really easy. I just put a little money away each check and didn't touch it. Well, that's okay when you're working. And so when he came in, he said, but I realize now that I'm 80 and I'm retired, I need this money to last. Now I'm looking at it saying, I really don't know that I am making all the right decisions. I might need some help to make sure that I'm not taking big losses, so that the goals I have for this money, and in his case it was estate goals. He was wanting to leave a certain dollar amount to each of his children, and he was seeing how sometimes those fluctuations that we've seen over the past 5 years, even though we've not seen a huge downturn, we've seen some dips, and those do affect people. And so he was looking for guidance then to make sure he stayed in alignment with his goals.
And what is that advice you give someone? If buy and hold strategy isn't what you should do, then what strategy should you be using?
Well, that's a great question, because really retirement, Elisa, becomes a fundamental change in our life. We now go from collecting paychecks to having to create our own paychecks for the fun things we want to do in retirement, the lifestyle, if you would. And so we believe that at that point, you need to shift from that buy and hold mentality to a tactical approach.
Okay.
And in our practice, we use what's called recession probability analytics. Now, it's a lot of saying to say that
recession probability analytics. Okay.
Yes. So what that literally means is we look at 26 sectors of the economy every single month, and then adjust the portfolio based on those analytics. So we don't want to make, if things are falling like a rock, we don't want to fall all the way to the bottom.
Right.
And if you're taking money out on a monthly basis, now that dollar cost averaging goes in reverse. And that sequence of returns is so important. So as an example, over a 10-year period, you could shift the returns in any order and you would end up with the same result when you're putting money in.
Okay.
However, if you retire just before a big market correction, now you have to make up all those losses plus take out income. You may never recover.
Wow. So when is the right time for someone to kind of redo their strategy? If buy and hold has been what they've been doing since they've been in their 20s, when's the right time to say, okay, now let's make the switch?
We call it the retirement red zone. That's
Okay.
a football term that I know
Yeah.
nothing about.
Retirement
but
red
I
zone, I
know
like
it
it.
as far as
Getting close.
retirement goes. You're getting close. You're 5 years out. That's kind of the sweet spot of making sure everything's in order and that your risk tolerance matches up with where you should be for your goals, for your portfolio. And so 5 years out is a really good time.
5 years
Yep.
out. All right, and you guys have an offer today for our viewers.
We really do, Elisa, because what people don't realize is how much risk they're taking versus the return they have. And we do what's called a portfolio x-ray, so you can look and see below the surface to see what your fees are, what your risk is, and make sure that you're on track to have a predictable retirement.
Awesome. Greg and Kristen Taylor, always such a pleasure to talk to you guys.
Good to be
And I
here.
feel better knowing that you use your credit cards.
Yep.
Pay
Oh,
them
yeah.
off, but you get those rewards. So I
That's
feel better
right.
about that because that's what we were asking today. But here's that number again, 614-336-7660. Be the first 5 caller for that portfolio x-ray. And to learn more about how Legacy Retirement can help you plan for your retirement, visit them online at legacyretirementgroup.com.